Okay, students, we have concluded filtration in the previous class, and now we are moving on to the next method of separation. It is evaporation. So, what is evaporation? Evaporation is the process in which liquid gets converted into its vapor. Look at here, if you have a solution like salt and water or sugar and water, etc., you can use this separation technique. Okay. Evaporation can be used to separate solids dissolved in a liquid. Example, what are they? Yes, the examples like salt from salt water or salt from sea water if you want to separate salt. Okay, so if you want to get a salt, you can have the evaporation process. So what is evaporation? Evaporation is the process in which a liquid gets converted into its vapor. Okay, and let us go to detail how evaporation can be done. How seawater is, from the seawater, how the salt is obtained. Let's go to the activity. Okay, look at here. A seawater is allowed to stand in a shallow pits. So water gets heated by sunlight and slowly turns into water. Okay, look at here. This is a shallow pit. Okay, so the seawater is allowed to stand the shallow pit. So water gets heated by sunlight and slowly it turns into water vapor through evaporation. So sunlight is available. So slowly the water molecules gets evaporated. So within 2-3 days the water evaporates completely and leaving behind the solid salt. The salt is remaining that we have to go and take. Okay. So common salt is then obtained from this mixture of salt by further purification. So the salt contains so many impurities and all. So the impurities and the mineral which is attached to the salt, we have to purify it using different purification method. So such a way you will get a fine salt. Okay, the table salt we are commonly used for, it's a good preservative, right? This is the way it can be prepared. Okay, now using more than one method of separation. Where we are using more than one method of separation, in which occasion we can use how the components looks like or how the nature of the components which are present in a mixture. Where we can use more than one method of separation. Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea where we can use more than one method of separation? Yes, here please look at here. If you want to separate salt and sand, which method can be used? If you want to separate a mixture of salt and sand, which method can be used? So take the salt and sand in a glass and you add water, and after that what you have to do? Yes, after that the both will be settled down. Okay, the sand will settle down and the salt will be dissolved in water. You decantate it. After decantation, you can see that the salt and water is separated and the sand will be settled. Okay, so look at here. Here salt and water mixture is there. From there, salt and water want to, again you have to separate. Okay, I hope you understood the process. Yes, look at here. Here you will get, in the decantate you will get salt and water. So this solution you have to pour it into a kettle. So after that what we have to do is just put on the flame. Just keep on heating. So after that you can see the water molecules. The water molecules evaporated through this pipe, and finally there is another pan, and which is consists of ice cubes. A pan with ice cubes are there. So after that the gas, the water vapors are condenses, and finally again it converted to water droplets. Look at here. Yes. So what you observed? So from the salt and water mixture, the salt remains at here itself and the water gets evaporated, and the evaporated water is again condensed to pure water molecule. Okay, look at here. What we did, look at the flow chart. Salt, sand and water we have to separate it. Which method you have used? Sedimentation and decantation you have used first. And sand is separated. Right? So after that, what you obtained? Yes, using evaporation and condensation, the salt and water is obtained. Right, the salt and water, they kept it for evaporation and condensation. Finally, you got salt and water separately. Okay, I will repeat it again for the better understanding. Evaporation and condensation both are opposite in nature. How? Yes, the same method. From the kettle, the water molecule, the water evaporates, and when it reaches to the lid of the bath, you can see here ice cubes are there. When you switch on the heat, what happens? The water evaporates, and finally the evaporated molecules condenses from the ice cool surfaces, and finally the gas converted to liquid. Okay, using evaporation and condensation, you can separate a mixture of salt and water. Okay students, here I have taken a small ml, I mean a 10 or 25 ml of water. So what I am going to do is, I am just taking the solute. This is, what is this? Yes, this is salt. I have added a spoon of salt into this beaker. Okay, and I just stirred it. Okay, I'm just going to stir it. Okay, the salt gets dissolved. Okay, and next what I am doing is, again I am adding multiple amount of salt. Again I am stirring the solution. Okay, again let me add 2-3 spoonful of salt. I am adding continuously without stopping. I am adding and I am stirring. Look at here. Look at here. Is the salt dissolves? Is the salt dissolves? Look at here. Look at here. So salt dissolves? No. Again I am adding. Again I am adding. Again I am adding salt continuously. Look at here. Look at here. What you observed? Is the solution, is the water is able to dissolve this all salt? No. Look at here. Because no more solute is there to dissolve in the solution. This condition is called what? This is the saturated solution. Saturated solution, because this water is not capable to dissolve this salt because the quantity is more. Okay. Then what you have to do is, you just look at here. It not dissolve. This is a saturated condition. But if you want to get the salt back, what you have to do? You just heat the solution. That time the salt can be separated. Look at here. I'm going to tell you one interesting factor. In a beaker, you have water and add a 2-3 spoonful of sugar and you stir it. Again add thrice or twice amount of sugar into water and you keep on add it, and finally you can see that there may not be any sugar component which is not able to dissolve, which means that there is no more solute is there remain to dissolve in any more sugar, that is called a saturation. That condition is called a saturated solution. Again, if you add sugar, means it is not possible because that water is not able to dissolve this much sugar in this beaker, right? So if you continuously add the solute into this beaker, means the water is not able to dissolve the whole sugar particle. So that condition is called saturated, right? Yes, what is saturated solution? A solution is said to be saturated if it cannot dissolve more of the substance or solute in it. So more of a substance can be dissolved in a solution by heating it. Okay, so water dissolves different amounts of soluble substances in it. What do you mean actually? So children, I will tell you a simple example. If I am continuously taking science class morning to evening, what will be your condition? You will be saturated because your brain is not able to take anything from me if I'm continuously take class. Like same way, if you are continuously solute into a solution means it is not possible to dissolve it. That is the saturated solution. Okay, that is a saturated solution. So by simple heating, you can separate the solid mixtures, solid components from the saturated solution. Okay, and this is very, very important, saturated solution. You can prepare it. And look at here. This you have to answer for me. Which method of separation is used to separate stones and rice? Husk and grain, grain and stalk, sand and water, and finally salt and water. Okay, write the answer in your notebook and submit me tomorrow. Okay, I hope you understood the topic. We will see you in the next class.